again to the big match. And the lineup today, our main match is Spurs against Leeds United, an entertaining game that had the weekend's high moment of controversy to it. And from that game, Keith Birkinshaw, the new Spurs manager, is our studio guest. Also from the First Division, some exhilarating action as Everton meet Stoke City. And finally, goals all the way in the Second Division as Nottingham Forest meet Hereford United. Your letters too, of course. And this week, Elton John chooses the action he'd most like to see again. And there's a chance for you to win one of his LPs signed by him. But first we go across to White Hart Lane, where Spurs come out to face Leeds. New signing from Stoke City in their ranks, Ian Moores, the under-23 striker, who scored in the games at Middlesbrough and Manchester United. This is his first home game, and this then is the team that he's joined. Barry Daines in goal in place of Pat Jennings. The back four of Naylor, Young, Osgood, McAllister. Middle three of Hoddle, Perryman and Coates. And up front, Neighbour, Moores and Jones, with John Pratt, the substitute. As for Leeds United, they field the side that beat Derby County last week. David Harvey in goal, a back four of Reaney, Madeley, Hunter and Frankie Gray, Bremner, Cherry and Curry in the midfield, Alan Clark, who passed a test on a groin injury, McNiven and Eddie Gray up front, with Peter Lorimer transfer listed, their substitute. The referee is John Hunting, he comes from Leicestershire, and the crowd at White Hart Lane is 35,000 strong.
So Leeds in an all-yellow strip, attacking the goal to our right. Spurs in the white shirts and black shorts. As Keith Osgood turns it back to Barry Daines. An important afternoon for Tottenham, really, to show their fans that they can play well here at White Hart Lane, as well as they've been playing away from home, with that League Cup victory at Middlesbrough and that spectacular win at Old Trafford last week. So much in mind. Here's Chris Jones going on for Tottenham. Marginal mistake there by Madeley. Oh. And Ian Moores bundling into David Harvey to make his presence felt at once. But Spurs have not won here this season, and indeed won only 6 times here in the league last year, on a ground where teams used to come in fear and trembling. Well, they want to put that right today. Here's Ian Moores again. Perryman playing it to Neighbour. Well, that looked rather a wild challenge by Frankie Gray, but it's a throw and nothing more to Leeds United. Here's Curry. Cut out by Hoddle. A lovely bit of play by Hoddle, and picking up Perryman. Turned in towards Moores. It'll come now to Tony Curry. Nicely played into the path of Billy Bremner. Letting it go for Clark, still carrying that groin injury. Cherry. Madeley. Eddie Gray. Played on again on a beautiful surface here. Coates. Chris Jones allowed that to go through, where Hunter very studiously over the ball, flicking it to Frankie Gray. Turned back by Terry Naylor to Barry Daines in goal, because of course one of the great famous Tottenham players is out and injured at the moment. There he is in the suit, Pat Jennings. Coates. Played in again towards Ian Moores. Oh, and he was so unlucky there, Jones. Neighbour turning it back again, and Harvey saving well there. Well, Moores very nearly got on the score sheet there. In fact, it may have just glided off the top of his head. He may have made more of it. Jones was almost in, and then in the end, it was Jimmy Neighbour's shot, superbly saved by the Leeds goalkeeper, David Harvey. So a corner for Tottenham. Jimmy Neighbour with it. Clark getting it away. Naylor. Long ball again towards Ian Moores. And a bit of pushing by Moores on Madeley. Frankie Gray. Now Hoddle, nice touch. Good touch by Naylor as well, but it'll be a little too far ahead. Oh, Hunter's given that away to Ian Moores, and he hit it well first time, just past. All stemming from Hunter's mistake. And when the ball came through to Ian Moores, he hit it on the turn first time, and he wasn't very far away. Young, Hoddle. Naylor. Chris Jones. And now Reedy for Leeds. Long ball onside. He's all right. Now McNiven. Can he make something of this? He has. Oh, and what a good save by Danes. Well, that was a superb piece of goalkeeping, and nobody would be happier about that, I'm sure, than Pat Jennings on the bench there. In fact, I can see him on the other far side applauding away. Young David McNiven caught that superbly, and Barry Danes whacked it over the top with a superb piece of goalkeeping. So Curry with the corner. And Coates getting it away. Perryman. Coates. And now Cherry. Osgood cutting that one out. Moore's trying to keep the 1-2 going, and it very nearly fell for Keith Osgood there. Curry. Gray. In for Tony Curry again. Leeds very impressed with the way he's knuckled down to working at Ellen Road. Don Howe, the Leeds coach, was telling me before the game he's lost a lot of weight and has done everything right for Leeds United so far. Now Neighbour. Hoddle again. Almost an arrogant little clip. Seems so at home in this first division scene. Here's Jones having a battle with Norman Hunter down that touchline, and a bit of pushing going on, giving Spurs the free kick. So Chris Jones going into the centre again. Terry Naylor's going to take the free kick, unless it's Steve Perryman. In fact, is Steve Perryman. Clark. McAllister. Perryman, chance to lift it in again. And they're all going in there, Madeley under a lot of pressure. Willie Young right in there. Can he get a shot in? Oh, my goodness, it almost came off Moores and was grasped under that crossbar by David Harvey. Young hitting it well, surprised how much room he had. It glanced off Ian Moores, and somehow Harvey grabbed it under the crossbar. Well, it's got the Spurs fans going a bit as well. And certainly they're playing well, making 1 or 2 chances, and maybe this is another one coming up. Willie Young, oh my goodness! Yes, Jones! What a remarkable series of escapes there. As that ball came in, it was whacked against the crossbar. I think it was the Leeds player who put it against the crossbar. And when it came back, Jones pounced on it superbly, threw a whole lot of players into the back of the net. Spurs 1, Leeds United 0, 24 minutes gone. They really are pouncing quickly on Leeds United, not giving him any chance at all to settle in the middle of the field. Now Spurs have got a free kick. Notice how quickly, in the space of a few seconds, Chris Jones went in quickly. Perryman went powering it as well, not giving Leeds any chance to breathe at all. Perryman with the free kick. Willie Young right up there for that one, getting his head to it as well. And it was Hunter who put it away. McAllister. And now Hoddle to McAllister again. Well, he got his cross in. And it was Frankie Gray who got it away to Clark. Now for Eddie Gray. Well, Osgood was in trouble there. Oh, that looked very much like a kick by McNiven. precisely McAllister. Crowd are whistling. They not at all happy with Mr. McNiven's attitude there. And Osgood still in trouble as Curry now takes it up, but Clark is well offside on this side of the field. Eddie Gray going past his man. Played out now for Tony Curry. Spurs still this one light, with Osgood still on the ground. Still Gray trying to wriggle his way past Neighbour. And now John Hunting, the referee, will go across to Osgood. And in fact, McAllister was pointing there to McNiven. Well, let's have a look at that controversial incident again. That's the contact that McNiven made on Keith Osgood, and that's the contact that puts Osgood onto the stretcher. Well, if in fact it is a case of one professional deliberately kicking another professional, what is this game all about? There's Osgood going off. And John Pratt, the substitute, is on for Tottenham. Well, that's a miserable sight. Now Holland. Oh my goodness, what a good shot. Into the side netting when it was a foot away from being a wonder goal from Glenn Hoddle. Took that on the bounce, hit it left-footed without a second thought, but wide of the post. Curry nodding it on for Clark. Oh, McNiven's coming in. Just past the post. And Leeds very dangerous indeed in that breakaway. So McNiven very close with that one. Let Spurs breathe again. Curry. After it. Naylor going with him. And a corner for Leeds United. Well, he's not the most popular man in White Hart Lane. He's getting a fair bit of abuse from that crowd behind the goal. McNiven. And here's the corner now. Eddie Gray with it. McAllister's header away. Now, this could be a break for Tottenham. It's 2 against 2 as Neighbour now runs Hunter. Bremner steaming to get back. Still with Jimmy Neighbour. He's gone a long, long way. And Harvey almost let it slip under his body. Well, Neighbour did tremendously well there. He kept Hunter on tenterhooks. He must have shot from something like 27, 28 yards. Low and powerful. Harvey down well. Almost let it slip under his body. So Coates with the corner. Perryman. Oh, Hoddle missed that one. Bremner offside against McNiven. Pratt playing it in low. Good Lord, Bremner completely missed it. Perryman again. And there goes the whistle for half-time, and a good first half it's been for Spurs. Going into the dressing room leading by a goal to nil, scored by Chris Jones, but without Keith Osgood, and the villain of that particular piece is the young number 9 of Leeds United, David McNiven, who's been roundly booed since apparently he took a kick at the Spurs number 6. So a controversial and an incident-filled first half, and a half-time score here at White Hart Lane. It reads Spurs 1, Leeds United 0. We'll be back with the second half. So Spurs then get us away as we welcome you back. Now attacking the goal to our right, this one goal up. At the last goal scored at White Hart Lane in the league, before the one by Chris Jones in that first half, was away back on Easter Monday of last season. Ralph Coates played nicely into the path of Jimmy Neighbour. Coates making the break, and it was pushed just a little too far ahead of him there, so that Madeley could come in and make the interception. Clark. Oh, he's going on his own, Clark, right through, and Danes out well to stop him. Well, Danes caught something in the chest there, and is obviously hurt by it, and I think the referee will have to stop that, because you can't have a goalkeeper down and injured. Indeed, John Hunting is stopping the play and going back to have a look at Barry Danes. But Clark somehow wriggled his way through 3 or 4 half challenges there, and it took a brave piece of goalkeeping by Barry Danes to deny him in the end. Certainly Barry Danes seemed to be reacting rather angrily there. Whether Alan Clark kept his foot out when Danes had made the save, whether he trod on him or what, I don't know, but certainly Danes seemed rather angry by that piece of play by Clark. Tony Curry and Eddie Gray. And Terry Naylor having a word with Clark as well, but Danes okay. In fact, the general opinion out there seemed to be that it was just one of those accidental things. Curry. Eddie Gray. Clark on the far side. Good jump actually by Willie Young, and if McNiven had been just 3 or 4 yards to his right, he'd have picked up that rebound. Instead of that, it's Pratt with a long ball out for Ian Moores. Hunter pounding after him. And a throw to Tottenham. John Pratt playing it off first time there for Perryman. Now McAllister. Eye towards Chris Jones, got his header in there too. Now Perryman with a shot. Oh, how unlucky. Oh, and indeed Perryman very nearly got in with the rebound as well. Well, how near can you go without actually scoring? A tremendous shot there by Perryman. And not only that, while others looked around in disappointment when that cannoned off the post, Perryman was diving in and almost got the rebound in. Gray. McAllister backing off. Oh my goodness, that wasn't far off. He chipped it over Daines's head. Once he gets onto that cunning left foot of Eddie Gray, anything can happen. He wasn't very far away from getting Leeds United an equaliser there. But Pratt to Jones. Naylor. Jones making a run. Naylor spotted him. Ian Moores with the shot. Might still come for Chris Jones. It'll come for Neighbour instead. Now for Naylor. Still more pressure that Spurs are putting on this Leeds defence. Neighbour with a nice little cross. And Ian Moores up with a header, and somehow Harvey just got down to save it. That was a brilliant piece of goalkeeping. And Moores very nearly scored his third goal for Tottenham there. And Pratt over the top. Well, as Neighbour dipped that cross in, Moores got up superbly at the far post, nodded it down, it looked a certain goal. But superb reactions too by David Harvey in the Leeds goal. Curry trying to keep it in and succeeding on the far side. And getting it across well, here's Alan Clark. My goodness, that very nearly went in. It was the long legs of Willie Young. Bremner turning it in again. Trevor Cherry now trying to find a yard or so for a goal. And after Clark had whacked that in from a very dangerous position, it was very good play indeed by Willie Young that got it away for Spurs. And a foul by Hunter on Moores, giving Spurs the free kick. Cherry, McNiven into the path of Cherry, onside. Now can Cherry finish it off? No. Oh. Well, McAllister kicked that off the line, and Daines was grateful to grab it the second time. Onside, said the linesman, and Cherry went on. He finally got round Daines, only to find that McAllister blocked the path, and Daines pounced on the ball before Leeds could make anything of it. Reedy. Hunter. Curry. And Terry Naylor nodding it around for Jimmy Neighbour. Inside for John Pratt. Ian Moores is up and Chris Jones is up in support as well. Now on for Chris Jones. A flick through for Ian Moores. A nice little return pass by him. Good play between those two strikers. Very good combination between Jones and Moores. And Jones just wide with the final effort. Ten minutes to go. Now McNiven. And Curry. Well, McNiven mishit it. Not more than Tony Curry did. Madeley back to David Harvey. See from that quick clearance how much he wants to get on with it now. The last seconds of the game. Neighbour, that'll come nicely for Coates. No, it won't, because Frankie Gray recovered quickly, but Coates was full of determination too. Here's Naylor. Last gasp try by Tottenham, and it'll come to Huddle on the far side. But a chance that was fleetingly there for a moment, in the end was denied him. Clark and Willie Young getting involved again. Feet were flying there a bit, and Willie Young giving his version of it to referee John Hunting. Being told by his teammates to calm down in the last seconds of the game, with Spurs leading by a goal to nil. two players lucky not to have had their names in the book in this game. Bremner. Curry right there. The whistle has gone though. And Spurs have won at home at last with the goal by Chris Jones in the first half. They really deserved a second one in the second half when Steve Perryman whacked it against the Leeds United post. But after one or two little alarms in the last quarter of an hour, they ran out winners, and deserved winners, by a goal to nil. Final scoreline then at White Hart Lane. Spurs 1, Leeds United 0.
Yes, a good win and well-deserved points for Tottenham. And now meet their new manager, Keith Birkinshaw. And indeed, you've had a good last couple of weeks, Keith, haven't you? A win at Middlesbrough, a win at Manchester United, and now a win against Leeds.
Yes, it's as much as that I could have hoped for in that week and a half it is now. If somebody had said prior to this that we would get the 3 wins against Middlesbrough, Manchester and Leeds, I would have said, well, that's hoping for a little bit too much, but there it is, we've done it.
You've got Liverpool waiting next week, haven't you?
Yeah, well, if we win that one, I think we're on our way a little bit.
What, in fact, has pleased you most over this last 10 days or so?
I think the fact that the players are beginning to realise that they're a little bit better than what people sometimes gives them credit for, and I think this game's a lot about confidence and a lot about spirit, and I think we've got both in abundance.
The injection of Ian Moores has obviously helped a lot as well, the lad you've bought from Stoke.
Yeah, before he came, we were playing reasonably well, but we didn't put the ball in the net. And when this happens, then at some part of the game, the players lose confidence a little and feel that the game's not going to go for them, and this is when the trouble begins.
We got one or two good examples of how Ian Moores combined so well with Chris Jones yesterday.
Well, we've been working on it in training, and I think that they've come on remarkably well in the short time that they've been together.
This was in the second half, wasn't it, Keith?
Yes.
Nice little flick coming up from Ian Moores.
Yeah, well, they're trying to get this understanding, this little bit of interplay between the pair of them. He took it fairly well on his chest, Chris, but he just didn't manage to get it on target.
He's a big bustling lad, Chris Jones, and so too is Ian Moores, who'd scored for you up at Middlesbrough and against Manchester United at Old Trafford as well, and very nearly had a goal here in the second half, didn't he, against Leeds? This incident coming up now, in fact, leads towards it. Tell us what pleased you about this, because there's good patience in this.
Well, the thing is, we knocked it in there, and we have a shot, and it rebounds out to Chris again, and he plays it out nice and simply to Jimmy Neighbour and then to Terry Naylor, and he doesn't try and just bang it in there before we're ready for the cross. Jimmy looks up and he puts it where he wants it, and I think Ian Moores jumps really well for that one and heads the ball exactly in the position that is worst for the goalkeeper. He's come one way for the cross, and then he's got to go back again for the ball back across him.
And still John Duncan to come in.
Well, it can't be too bad.
No. And I suppose the other thing that you've got on your mind is the goalkeeping situation as well, which I presume must present some sort of problem for you.
Well, it's not on my mind as much as what people would have one believe. They're both great guys, and we talk quite a lot about things between the three of us. They know the way I'm thinking, and even though one of them's going to be disappointed next week, and Pat was disappointed this week, by the way, when he wasn't in against Leeds, I think that they've got the confidence in me, and I've certainly got the confidence in them, that we'll work it out okay.
But it's incredible to have the world's #1 goalkeeper, Pat Jennings, on the bench. How did you keep him happy this week, for example?
Well, I think you saw the point that he'd hardly had any real training amongst the squad. He'd only had one real session, and that was on the Thursday prior to the Leeds match. And as I said, I felt that he needed at least another week before he's ready to come back. And he accepted it. He's a great guy, Pat, and you know, we do see things, I think, on the same wavelength.
Mind you, Barry Daines has done superbly well for you, hasn't he?
No one could have done any better than he has. I don't think Pat could have done any better, and Pat realises this.
Can you give us a clue as to which way your thinking is going for next week at Liverpool?
Not really. I think we'll let it work itself out during the week, and just hope that I can keep both players as happy as possible, even though one of them's going to be deadly disappointed.
Yeah. Well, one incident, though, we've got to refer to, Keith, of course, is the incident involving David McNiven and Keith Osgood. Keith Osgood, your defender, leaving the ground on crutches last night. And, in fact, the Leeds man was booed for the whole of the game. Let's have a look at the incident again now. I confess that it happened off the ball. I didn't see it actually when it happened. Jimmy Armfield said he didn't see it either, and clearly the referee couldn't have seen it as well. But just watch the man in the yellow shirt, the all-light strip now. There we are, that backward kick, that's what did it, and it caught Keith Osgood on the knee, where he'd had an operation in the summer to remove a piece of bone, and that really pained him. I think perhaps if we have a look at that again, Keith, what's your reaction to it, having seen it again this morning?
Well, it's something that need not have happened. Why he did it, only the player knows. I think it's something that Jimmy Armfield's got to deal with himself. These sort of things are serious. But after saying that, I don't think that Keith Osgood would have been as badly hurt if he hadn't have had this operation in the summer.
No. But if it had been one of your players doing it, what would you do?
I would have dealt with it.
In what sort of way?
Well, I think that players, the only way that we can possibly deal with these sort of situations is to find players.
Yeah.
But then that's up to each individual club, and I don't want to comment about Leeds' problems.
Well, Jimmy has said that when he's seen it on television, he will take what action he thinks is necessary. Let's give him and you one more chance of looking at it. David Niven, a stocky little striker, who rather let his feelings perhaps get the better of him for that one fateful moment. And indeed, of course, it put Keith Osgood out of the game. Here we come now. He's beaten quite fairly in the air there by Keith Osgood. And that was the moment, as I say, I didn't see it. It was off the ball. The referee didn't see it. Jimmy Armfield didn't see it. A lot of people didn't see it. Steve Perryman, the Spurs captain, was another player who didn't see it. And in fact, there's a shot of him that'll be coming up in a moment where he and Ian Moores are conferring in the goalmouth as to who saw it and who didn't see it. And here it comes now. Steve coming towards the new Spurs striker, saying, what happened there then? And Ian Moores, now watch. So he saw it all right. There we are then, Keith. It was a controversial moment, but it mustn't be allowed to overshadow what was really a fine performance by Spurs, and obviously you've got high hopes that things are going well now. Yeah,
the thing that really pleased me was that John Pratt came on, fitted immediately into the back four as though he'd been there all season. He came on at Manchester last week, went into the middle three and scored a fantastic goal with his left foot. And these are the type of players that's going to make you into a good team once again.
You got the spirit going well, Keith, and congratulations on yesterday's victory, and thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Brian.
Well, our next action is of the highest quality as we take you north to Goodison Park on Merseyside, where Everton are at home to Stoke City, a match covered by Granada Television, the commentator Gerald Sinstadt, Everton in the plain blue shirts.
Conroy battling away there. Hudson, Salmons, Pejic. Header away by McNaught. Dobson helping it on. Marsh for Greenough. Conroy. And over goes Conroy, and the penalty is given. Kenyon indicates a dive, but the referee didn't need to think twice about that. Conroy had pushed the ball, was going past his man, and down he went. And Terry Conroy is the man who will take the penalty. Scored from one last season. Davis, and Conroy put it wide. You can imagine what goes through a player's mind at a moment like that. The penalty given, he saw Davis go the wrong way and saw the ball just miss the upright. Third corner that Everton have had, Peter Shilton trying to get himself a sight of it. Telfer takes it. Deep, and it put Shilton under pressure, and he did well to punch it away. And it goes again, and he saves brilliantly this time. From Kenyon, rather. It was a good corner. It put Shilton under pressure to punch as men came in at him at the far post. And when the shot was banged back in by Lyons, Shilton did very well to get down. And again he does well, and this time he's got it in his hands. And the problem passes for Stoke. In the light jacket there, next to Tony Waddington, the Stoke manager, Waddington with his hand on his chin. Next to him is John Tudor, the Newcastle forward, who will sign for Stoke on loan this weekend. King. Again he bends the shot and a brilliant save. But Andy King, a player who really knows where the goal is. And down goes Shilton again. And the ball is out for a corner. And twice in quick succession, Peter Shilton has again saved Stoke. Andy King with the first one. Just got a glimpse of goal. Bent it with his right foot. And Shilton got a left hand to it. And when it came back in again, he was down again. Salmon's put in neatly there by Greenough. Measuring the cross, but it's headed away by McNaught. Latchford, King, Lyons. Telfer. Took it well. Bowers is with him. Shilton is out and the goal is empty. And Telfer has scored. Sprung deep from defence by Everton. Two swift passes and Telfer was away, chasing it with Bowers. And Shilton came off his line and everything fell nicely for Telfer as Bowers and Shilton seemed to confuse each other. And it was then a question of whether Telfer could hit it straight and keep his balance, and he did it very competently. Dobson now. Striding past God who brings him down. Dobson put away by a good ball there. Everton coming quickly out of defence once again. Goodless's free kick driven hard and a glancing header. The second attempt is in and again it's Telfer. Peter Shilton did well to get down to the first header from Latchford, but as he beat it out, Telfer was there and stuck it home to make it 2-0. Lyons. Very good ball for Goodless. Taking on Marsh and playing another lovely cross. Oh, what a goal! Now that's football. Everybody involved in that can take credit. Lyons, a great crossfield pass. Goodless, a magnificent centre, and Latchford, a superb header. Three superlatives for three very good players combining in a magnificent move.
And you can see what I mean about breathtaking action. A 3-0 win there for Everton. Which brings us now on to your letters. And the first one concerns the Chelsea goalkeeper Peter Panetti, Mr. E. Wright of 90 Orchard Road, Dagenham in Essex, and 15-year-old Stephen Street of 76 Grange Park Road, Leighton, London E10. Both spotted that Peter Panetti appeared to kiss the ball when he made a clearance at Millwall last week. Explains Peter, I admit it does look as though I'm kissing it, but in fact I've always been an erratic kicker, and what I'm doing is just steadying myself, getting the ball at the right angle and in a firm grip before sending it on its way. I'd hate the Big Match viewers to think that I'd gone a bit nutty in my old age, he said. But what about the strange affair of referee Jack Taylor? And really there's none better than he, allowing Bristol City to kick off both at the start and the game and at the start of the second half as well of their match against Sunderland last week. And Mr. R.G. Prestige of 126 Claremont, Malpas, Newport in Wales spotted it, and here we see, in fact, Bristol City kicking off at the start of their game last week against Sunderland at Ashton Gate, which means, of course, that Sunderland should have been kicking off the second half. But those red socks surely belong to Bristol City. And as we see the game getting underway, we see that, in fact, Bristol City were allowed to kick off in the second half as well. It just proves that even the best referees sometimes get caught out. In On the Ball yesterday, we had a full-length interview with superstar Elton John. I hope you saw it. He's now chairman, of course, of 4th Division Watford. And while I was with him, I asked him if he had something special he'd like to see again on the big match. And indeed, if in fact he was a televiewer on sport.
Oh, all the time. Any chance there is to watch any sport, but especially football on, or soccer as they call it now, on TV, I'm there all the time, yeah.
As you probably know, on our big match programme, we like to get viewers' requests in, and you're a very eminent Crest, is there something that you particularly would like to see again?
Well, Watford and Leicester when we won 2-1. I think we came from behind 1-0 down, and I think Barry Endine scored 2 goals. So that was in the second division days, I think. So I wouldn't mind seeing that if you've still got that on record.
Well, we've still got the winner in our library. Remember, Leicester City had gone ahead in the first half. Just before this picture, Watford had equalised with a penalty, and now with just a couple of minutes or so remaining, 5 in fact, Watford go into the lead.
So solidly behind them. And Garbutt going in, and indeed a goal! Oh, a beautiful goal! 2 goals in a minute!
Pat Morrissey scored a hat-trick against Oldham away. We won 3-0. I was very delighted that day as well, because I'd taken a bit of stick in the boardroom there. So we won 3-0. That was 2 seasons ago, I think. So I wouldn't mind seeing that either. So, but whatever. As long as it's Watford winning, I don't mind.
Scullion. Aim for Morrissey's head. Yes! What a good goal! Morgan wanting one square. Deeper for Jennings. Morrissey giving it back to Jennings with a very precise header. Number 2! Out to Scullion. Morrissey ploughing hopefully through the middle and coming in to meet this now. And he's penalised for a foul. Or has the referee given a penalty? I think Watford have scored from the spot this season, but Morrissey now can make it 3 without any trouble at all.
Well, I'm sure that made Elton happy, and I'm sure yesterday's victory over Colchester would have made him even happier. And while we were with him, he signed this copy of his LP Here and There, live performances in New York and London, and this could be yours. There's the Elton John autograph to the big match. And it could be yours, as I say, if you answer these questions. Who was the Leicester manager when they lost in that game to Watford? Who scored the other Watford goal on that day against Leicester? Elton seemed to think that it was Barry Endine, but was he right? And name 3 clubs that Pat Morrissey, who scored that hat-trick that you've just seen, the 3 clubs that Pat Morrissey has played for. The Leicester manager, who scored that other goal against Leicester, and 3 of the clubs that Pat Morrissey has played for. Answers on a postcard, please, to this address. To the Big Match competition, London Weekend Television, London SE99. The first correct answer out of the bag gets that LP signed by Elton. Well, our third match is simply bulging with goals as Nottingham Forest take on newly promoted Hereford United. The pictures come from ATV. The commentator is Hugh Johns. Nottingham Forest are in the red shirts.
Right. Handball by McGovern. And I should think a bookable handball. I don't know whether the referee George Nolan is going to take it seriously, but McGovern has certainly infringed the rules there. No, only a free kick. Payne takes it, and McNeil goes in and scores. Oh, that was so simple. And where was the marking? Where was the marking? 11 minutes into this game, and Dixie McNeil does it again. You can't stop this fella. But where was the Forest marking then? An easy enough free kick, perfectly placed by Terry Payne, and nobody picked up McNeil. A completely free header. Goalkeeper gets his fingers to it, but can't stop it. Leighton's header. McNeil for Davey. And away from McGovern. And beats him. Davey in there. Now he looks up for number 10. McNeil goes far post, in fact, for Sparring. What a goal! Yes, indeed, Peter Sparring. There wasn't much wrong with that. Peter Sparring's first ever goal for Hereford in this his 10th league game. And there was nothing wrong with that one at all. All came about when Davey robbed McGovern so easily, goes right side. Big long cross, and Sparring, no messing, whacked it on the volley. Wells, no chance. So Curran over the ball for the free kick. Looking for Bowyer. The way he was going to get there, the way Briley charged into it. Now it's Robertson. Faced by Payne. A short one in for O'Hare. Galley, as usual, right at his back. Clark. easy cross in. Chapman in there. O'Neill. Butlin. Now Curran. Bowyer back for Clark. Again for Robertson, who's having a good day against the younger, inexperienced. That's a beautiful shot from Clark. Frank Clark, oh dear. So close to getting the first league goal of his career. It was his birthday on Thursday. 33 years old then. He's waited practically all his life to score a league goal, and he very nearly got it then. The sun comes out. Curran has the ball. And Forest desperately need a goal. Away from Lindsay. Got his cross in. Butlin couldn't get there. O'Hare. Butlin! And they've got the goal. Barry Butlin has got it. Pulled it back to 2-1. They needed that one desperately. It's Barry Butlin's first league goal of the season. A superb driving run by Terry Curran all the way down the right touchline. Fended off 2 Hereford men. Knocks it in. O'Hare gets a touch and Butlin sticks it in. Sammy Chapman for McGovern. Must get it away. Neil was goal side of the ball. Clark now. Robertson. Butlin is on down the line. That's taken 2, 3 Hereford men out of the game. Butlin. Should have done better. Clark. Cross. Riley is there. O'Neill wins it. Bowyer. Oh yes! Ian Bowyer. I think that took a little tickle off somebody on its way in, but it's 2-2. And Hereford glaring at the youngster Shane Walker, because unfortunately he had 2 or 3 chances to get that ball away and didn't. Finally, when it did come back into the middle again, Bowyer was on the ball. Charged in. Little chip shot which might have taken a deflection, but it's 2-2. Sammy Chapman's free kick. Robertson. Lining up to tackle him. Gives it to Clark. Chip in for Bowyer. Did very well to keep that in play. Oh! Well. That was at least obstruction. It looked like a foul. But Forest come in there again. Robertson. Got his cross in. Did it touch? And it's in there! Now, did that get a touch off O'Hare? Did it go all the way in? They're giving Robertson the credit for it. The score is set. And the way John Robertson has reacted, I think we'll give that one to him. All that pressure down the left side throughout the whole game finally pays off as Robertson goes down the left side again. Whacks in the shot. Goalkeeper was sold. Perhaps there was a deflection, but the ball's in the net and it's 3-2 Forest. Ritchie. Davey. And O'Neill didn't win it back. Derek Glenn. Oh yeah, all the way on his own. Needs them spread a bit. Gallium didn't make it. Oh, what a goal! One of the goals of the season from Ian Bowyer, 4-2 Forest. No doubt about that one at all. That was a run and a half by Ian Bowyer. Just about from the halfway line, he fought for every flaming ball. Battled his way on alone. Came away left side of the box. The angle didn't seem to be right, but he whacked it. Goal number 4 for Forest. Well, what a game this has turned out to be, and McNeil could be in for the goal here. Yes, he is! Oh, it is true what they say about Dixie. You cannot give him a half chance anywhere near goals, and that's got to be within 30 seconds. Inside 30 seconds of Bowyer giving Forest a 4-2 advantage. They were still congratulating themselves. A half chance.
chance comes to Dixie McNeil, left side, and that's where he likes them.
So a 4-3 win for Brian Clough and for Nottingham Forest, and that's it. I hope you'll agree, an hour packed with brilliant action, which we hope you've enjoyed. And of course, there'll be more to come next weekend. Don't forget, On the Ball in World of Sport next Saturday lunchtime, and 3 more league games for you on the big match next Sunday afternoon. Certainly there's been a mixed bag of goals today, as we leave you now with 3 of them. One by Hereford that, you must admit, would have gone into any net.
Header. Neil for Davey. Away from McGovern. And beats in. Davey in there. Now he looks up at number 10. McNeil goes far post, in fact, for Sparring. What a goal!
And one at Everton that went into an empty net.
Lions. Telfer. Took it well. Bowers is with him. Shilton is out and the goal is empty. And Telfer has scored.
And one at Tottenham that didn't at first want to go in at all, and then went into a very crowded net.
And certainly they're playing well, making 1 or 2 chances. And maybe this is another one coming up. William! Oh, my goodness! Yes, Jones!